I want to start by contrasting sort of your day job and your night job of being on the city council. In your day jobs, you've set policy for some of the biggest global tech companies in the world. At night, you're worrying about potholes and crosswalks. Talk about that juxtaposition and why you balance the two.
Yeah, it seems a little strange, but it's something that I really enjoy. At my day job, you can go in at a tech company or any company that where you have some level of managerial control, and you can make change very, very quickly. But you're not impacting. You might impact the users of a particular product or something like that, but you're not having a direct long-term impact on your neighbors per se. You maybe a product that they use, but not necessarily their daily lives in every case. Whereas with policy, you're making decisions that might take 5 or 10 years to come to fruition, and it can be incredibly frustrating to get through the democratic process. But 10 or 15 years down the line, when you look back, in many ways, those decisions and a lot of the things that we've put together in Mountain View are much more impactful, I think, to the long-term health of the community, especially when you see kids going through the school systems and graduating and talking about new developments or things that happen to be there that weren't there 10 years ago.
And I mean, from your perspective, and in my experience, big tech doesn't spend a lot of time thinking about local government. And local government sort of also doesn't know what to make of technology. We tend to be the slowest adopters of new technology. What do you think the two don't understand about each other? Um, both both big tech understand about local government and local government understanding about tech.
Yeah, I think the things that tech companies and a lot of companies, frankly, do is they don't think about local government until they need it, right? And that's true, I think, of individuals too. But as long as something isn't a thorn on your side, you're not thinking about it until you need it, until you need to build that new building or get that permit or whatever. And so I think one of the mistakes that the companies make is not building those relationships over time, especially if you're really tied to a particular jurisdiction. I think building those relationships as policymakers come and go, having that staying power and just investing a little bit of time to be involved in the local community and getting to know your policymakers that goes a long way. And then I think the thing that um, regulatory bodies like cities and others forget about tech and others is they also don't necessarily pay that much attention until something bubbles up and they really have to think about it. And so I think if both sides were a little bit more proactive and just getting to know each other over time as people come and go, then you can pick up the phone or send that email and there's someone on the other end who's going to help as opposed to you having to fight through a bunch of red tape.